have such sights to show you. I'm just crazy about this store.
The 80s found new and creative ways to make the most mundane things terrifying. Like, you could just name just a whole laundry list and you could just make it scary. It only happened in that decade. And one of the more ones where you're just like, really? That? But it turned out to be pretty solid is a movie called Intruder, a movie which is a slasher that takes place in a grocery store. Trust me, it's actually good. And here to help me talk about it is the executive chairman of the Why We Love Horror Trivia League and YouTube channel, John Marr. John, thank you for joining me.
No problem. You're Ryan on this channel, right? No problem, Ryan.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Good. Well, thank you for joining. Thank you for having me, or having you. But this was produced. It wasn't directed. It was produced by Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell. Sam Raimi is in the movie, and Bruce Campbell is a cameo, but we'll touch on that in a second. It's directed by Scott Spiegel, and like I said, it tells the story of a slasher who is killing the employees inside of a grocery store after hours, and that's pretty much the plot. This was produced by Full Moon Features. They were a pretty big studio in the 80s. They produced the Subspecies movies, the Evil Bong movies. See Aaron Unwinds over on Why We Love Horror to know more about those. So their output was eclectic, to say the least. You ought to know.
Yeah, they have a bunch of franchises of varying qualities under the Full Moon umbrella. My biggest thing, without spoiling anything about Intruder, is this movie is just it's Sam Raimi and his crew. The best friend. It's a movie, and you can really feel that there's a bunch of best friends that got together and just had a fun time in basically an empty grocery store that they filled with. They made a deal with some, I guess, secondhand food company to fill the place with damaged goods. So basically, they got full run of this empty grocery store, and they just had an absolute blast making this movie, and you can tell.
Yeah, it really shows.
Yeah.
It's curious because there was a ton of Kleenex and Oreo product placements throughout, and I want to say it was an accident, but considering how prominently some of those Oreos were set there, I'm like, did they strike a deal? I don't think they were getting. I don't think this movie got any promotional money in 1989. Just judging by the budget, which, by the way, aside from having Scott Spiegel, the Raimi brothers, Bruce Campbell, and Emilio Estevez, his sister, on this movie, they also landed probably one of the greatest effects teams ever. Greg Nicotero, Robert Kurtzman, Howard Berger, leading a crew of people making effects that are big budget effects in a low budget movie, which is really, really one of the best things about this movie. Yes, that's a good place to start with that, because this movie is pretty gruesome in places. The kills are actually they're pretty shocking in places. They use this grocery store to its full potential. One of the ones that got me was when Sam Raimi's character gets sawed in half at the face. It's one of those big old meat slicer things.
That's not Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi's character gets he gets hung on the hook.
He gets the hook. You're right.
Yeah, he gets hung on the hook. So some other character, I wouldn't know his name off the top of my head, but they do the bread slicer kill decades before Fear Street. It was done in Intruder. It was done in Intruder first.
But slices him at the mouth level, so it makes for a pretty terrifying looking shot later where the final girl's running through and seeing all the victims properly placed with some pretty cheeky titles, like there's a body sawed in half and it says half off, do you get it? Which made me laugh, even though it was kind of dumb, but it made me laugh. And then the guy's face is looking there, but his jaw is sticking there. That was pretty messed up right there. And there's like I said, there's a lot of fun to be had here. There's a lot of Evil Dead DNA woven into this.
Yeah, I'd say as far as slashers go, this is pretty color by numbers. It does everything. If you're looking for a grand twist or something new, The only thing really new Intruder brings is, like I said, they were having fun. There's a lot of experimentation with camera angles. They use every single camera angle imaginable in this movie. They have a camera inside of a phone. There's a camera coming up from a broom. Like everything you can imagine they do in this movie. And also, my only complaint about Intruder is if you see the prominent poster for this movie, the most popular movie poster for Intruder, it spoils the movie.
Yeah, it did for me. I didn't realize until I saw him. I'm like, oh, that's him. And I had a feeling that this was the guy because there's a dude in a leather jacket who makes a big old fuss near the start of the movie, and they kick him out. And I'm like, I have a feeling they're trying to be clever with the whole like, oh, this is totally the killer, guys. But my years of watching Scooby-Doo have taught me the obvious killer is not always the killer.
Yeah, the red herrings, the red herring in this movie and the swerve they do in this movie is, if you've watched more than 12 horror movies, you're going to know exactly what's going on, whether you've seen the poster to the movie or not. Like, it's pretty obvious what's about to happen. But they do it right. Like, all the kills are great. They are gruesome. They are effective. The effects are great. And the final girl circuit that Jen runs through is it's up there as far as final girl circuits go.
Yeah, and to your point about budget, I don't have the number in front of me. Me in the future edit a figure right here in the lower third, but
$130,000.
That seems. I was expecting a little more than that, but no, that's wow. That's like a Paranormal Activity movie right there.
Yeah. They got a lot of breaks. I mean, obviously most of these people are from Michigan. They got the deal on a Michigan supermarket. So they saved a bunch of money up front with like location and timing. They filmed this movie very quickly, obviously. So I think they were very, very frugal with making this movie.
Yeah, but they made the most of it. I guess that was my point. And just you feel just how like lived in and how just rough this movie is. Like, there's a scene near the end where Jen's being chased by the killer and she goes to hit him over the head with a bottle. In another movie, that bottle would like break over his head, but you can hear the thunk like on his head. And
it breaks on the floor. Yeah.
I'm like, that had to hurt so bad. Like,
Dan Hicks is another like veteran of like Raimi movies. He's in Evil Dead 2 and a bunch of other stuff. But like my favorite thing, I don't know if it's, I can't tell you whether it's a stuntman or not, but I got to imagine Dan Hicks might have done his own stunts. There's a scene where Jen's running and he's running across the registers. Like, he's like 3 feet off the ground running across the registers. And that shot for this movie is like such a great like tracking shot of action, which you don't expect in a movie of this quality either.
Yeah, what this movie lacks in resources, it makes up for in creativity. And I think that's the biggest compliment that I could give to this. Like you said, it's the slasher formula. You're probably going to figure it out within 20 minutes, but don't let that turn you off from it. I do believe that there is a lot to enjoy here. Like I said, it's creative, and especially in '89, where like I'm sure there have been like 100,000 slasher movies by that point. I'm sure there was more impetus to, we need to make this like fun. We need to make this different, and it was.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's not really billed like a horror comedy, but it is comedic. So
there are funny moments.
Yeah, definitely, and you get like Ted Raimi giving full Ted Raimi in this movie too. So you get that.
Yeah, I recognized him before I recognized Sam. I don't know how that works, but there that is.
Well, Sam isn't usually in front of the camera, I think is probably the best way to put it.
True. There's a part of me that whenever I see Sam Raimi, I'm like, who is that? Oh, and it always takes me a second. But Ted, I was like, oh, there he is. That's him.
Yep.
But then, like I said, you get Bruce Campbell in here as well. He's one of the cops. It's not like here's Bruce Campbell. Like, for me, like when I saw him, I'm like, oh, there's the chin. Like, I saw it.
You could actually maybe miss it if you're not paying attention, because it's like the very end of the movie. He's one of the cops that responds to the 911 call. He's in the movie for like a grand total of 2 minutes. And there's so much commotion that you could potentially missing. And actually, Scott Spiegel also shows up briefly in the movie. He as a delivery man that the killer kills. He's in the movie for about 30 seconds.
Oh, really? I did not catch that.
The bread, when the guy delivers the bread and he's killed against the door, that is Scott Spiegel.
But this is like the thing that Scott Spiegel is known for. His two or three other big things on Letterboxd is Hostel 3, which I have not seen, and then From Dusk Till Dawn 2, which I did not know existed, but apparently came out in 1999, the year after the first one.
And there's a part 3 that was released. They were kind of released together, 2 and 3. So
interesting. Yeah. And then there's Attack of the Helping Hand, which has the poster has the hamburger helper hand giving the finger. I'll put it on the screen here somewhere just to show that I'm not crazy.
And I don't know if you know, we actually lost Scott Spiegel earlier this year as well. He passed away earlier this year, so just a tribute to him as well. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to him.
Yeah,
because this was actually rather good, quite underrated. A lot of these movies I've covered this month, I've been like, hey, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna choose it anyway, and then be like, oh wow, this one was pleasant. The definition of a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, when you gave me the list, I was like, Intruder. Like, there's nothing else to choose. Like, I have to. I while it's not a 5-star movie, I love Intruder.
Yeah. I pass it off to all of you though. What did you think of Intruder? If you have seen it, let us know in the comments. We'd love to read what you have to say. And John, thank you so much for joining me. I've had Abby and Aaron Brooks on this month, and now I've had you, so I got the hat trick. I got the 3. But your Why We Love Horror linked down below. I'm over there. I'm one half of the team's champions now. What do you all have coming up?
Basically, your partner will be defending his singles championship. Eric Moreno will be defending his singles championship in the next few weeks. There's been Luis Boos cashed in his singles championship title shot he got for winning the free-for-all. Aside from that, there's 2 matches every week. We do 2 episodes of Why We Love Horror trivia every week. We do Why We Love Horror whenever a new movie comes out. You got Versus, Will and I every Monday reviewing a bad horror movie. Occasionally, Aaron will do a show on Wednesday. Aaron Unwinds. And my daughter does shows as well. Why Liv Loves Horror on Tuesdays. And then we recap everything that we watch on our challenges every Thursday on the recap show.
She's covered Hotel Transylvania. It's great. But yeah, links down below. Go give them a subscribe over there. I play over there sometimes, so just check me out and check me and Eric out over there. He's going to be on the channel actually tomorrow, as of not as of the recording of this, but when this goes up, the next video he will be on, and he'll be on to help me talk about a strange little film, one of only 2, directed by a certain slasher named Robert Englund, or not the slasher, but the Freddy Krueger.
I imagine it's 976 Evil and not Killer Pat.
You got it. It's 976. 976 Evil. That's coming tomorrow.